I think because you have such an earthy style and people see you as this very calm person, that I think people think that you don't have a ratchet side. Do you have a ratchet side, Jill Scott?
I'm looking for it. Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm gonna give it to you raw. Um, I grew up in it very early. I grew up in a household that had some violence attached to it. And because I couldn't harm the man that was violent, physically violent to my mother, and so occasionally to myself, when somebody challenged me as a kid, I did the most. It wasn't just a fight, it was brutal. And I remember thinking, if I don't collect this, I'm going to go to jail or I'm going to kill somebody. And early on, I found a lot of ways not to be so, rah rah with it, because I
Okay.
don't, yeah, because I just, that part of myself, the child that couldn't defend my mother or myself, it still exists. So I try my best to keep it real easy because I don't want to hurt nobody like that. Yeah,
Would you have ever described yourself as a bully?
never.
Okay.
Mm-mm. I don't like
Mhm.
bullies. Never.
When you think about how you grew up and think about the parent that you are now in raising your son, what was it important for you to make sure he learned or understood or felt from you as his mom?
Oh, there's been so many lessons. I think a big one was that no one is above you and no one is beneath you. And just because we're growing up in different ways. I grew up in a house with one bathroom, and he's growing up in a house with 10. It's a different vibe. I had a couple pairs of shoes a year. He's got a closet, full. It's a different life experience. We went without, you know, um, not often, but often enough and severe enough to never forget it. So, I don't need him to be an asshole. You see the kids, with their parents got some money, so they're just jerks. You know what I mean? Like I don't want that for him. And that's really important for him not to be a jerk. Like I just don't want that for him. We had this
Is it?
conversation today in the car. I was like,
Oh, did
"You're
you?
really,
Okay.
yeah, yeah." I'm like, "You're a really nice guy," and people are gonna try to play you because you're a really nice guy. But I need you, to continue boxing so that you know how to hold your hands if necessary. And he's he's good with his, and I need him to know how to count his money. That's important, you know. And I need him to remember that everybody, is a human being, and that being him is super important in everything that he does. Not Jill Scott's son. I know you, and yeah, I'm like, we got that understanding. I'm your mom. You're my kid, but you are you. We just had this conversation today on the way to the dentist, getting Invisalign.
It feels weird to say this because I don't think there was a time in history where it wasn't. But in this climate, especially this racial climate, what is it like for you, raising a young black boy?
Terrifying, because it doesn't matter if you have or you don't. All that matters is that you're brown. That's it. So, he's turning 12 shortly, April 20th. Uh, and in 4 years after that, I know he's going to want a car, and he saved up so that he can get a car, and is still saving and will get a job before he gets a car. Okay. I don't care where you work, you're going to work somewhere. But just to know that he'll be on the road, just to know that he'll be away from people who love him in a world that will decide whether he's guilty of something because he's brown. That's terrifying. And it makes me consider leaving this place often. We talk about it a lot as a family, like, where would we go? And we're currently in Nashville, and if it doesn't work out here, then it's time to leave.
Leave the States or Nashville?
Yeah, leave this country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. There's certain things that you don't have to deal with. There's other things that you have to deal with, but there's certain things that you don't have to deal with in other countries. And it's specific other countries, So, we're looking at Holland. We like Holland.
Holland, huh?
They chilling.
Yeah.
They have great health care. They ride their bikes everywhere, so people are pretty fit. They speak more than Dutch, like several different languages. Most people do 3 or 4 different languages. That's dope. It's below sea level, so the food is really well hydrated.
You have really looked into this.
Well, yeah, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, the education is dope. The healthcare is dope. There's very few confines on your personality. If you wanna go get some ass, you wanna buy some ass. Ain't nobody tripping on you if that's what you want to do. That kind of thing. Like, not that that's what I want to do, but I'm just saying, like, I like the idea of people being able to be free as long as they're not harming anybody.